one of the things of layering sounds in and putting perspective and echo on the dialogue, but the right amount, not too much, not too little, so where it sounds natural. It's a real fine art of trying to balance all these things together. And again, it comes down to the director. Does it sound good to him? I like this, the bar scene I can play where we first played that scene for him there, because again, the bar scene was shot with, there's just the two of them there, even though it's a busy bar, and he was like, has anybody in this room, been to a Boston college bar? Because it doesn't sound like one, And I was like, yeah, I went in Boston, I know. Then you know what they sound like. Let's get it going, It's got to be a busy bar, I know they're talking fast, and there's a lot of dialogue in the opening, and this is the opening scene of the movie. And I know they're talking fast, but the people who are really listening, you'll pick up them key points. I mean, with Sorkin's dialogue, it's fast and witty, and so it was like, I think people can get it. They understand this guy's a genius, he's smart, but he's socially inept. And that's pretty much the scene. That's what I want in the scene. They don't have to hear every single word. They just need to hear enough to understand and feel for the scene. The interesting thing after that, because it keeps going, that Fincher, David was really, the flip-flops that Mark Zuckerberg wears was really a big issue in the mix. He was, because I guess Mark wore the Adidas flip-flops, which they're cloth, and so we had the Foley team walk it in the Adidas flip-flops, but they didn't sound like flip-flops that you're used to hearing. So we'd play it for days. They don't sound like flip-flops. I finally just said, just go out, buy the cheap plastic flip-flops, have them walk it again. So what they did do was they re-walked him, the entire character again, with the plastic flip-flops. And not only did they do that, they added the slap of the back of the foot one flop at a time. So there was an editor that went through, and so I had a separate track. So any time David said, I don't hear the flop on the track, I'd pull it up and it would be in sync, and it would, bam, there it is. Oh yeah, that sounds right. So the interesting thing is when Mark he leaves the bar here and he's walking down a street and it's a high shot. David wanted to hear the flip flop, so your eye went to him. Now the picture is not a great quality on here because I think they're quick times, and they weren't rendered shots or they weren't the final shots. But the flip flops were a big deal in the opening. So his flip flops walking all the way along was really painful for me because at any minute I was thinking David would go, those flip flops don't sound right. And then we were screwed because we spent so much time on making them sound. But David's always good about being complimentary. That sounds right. That sounds good, guys. So I'll play the bar scene. You'll hear it again, the final mix and the dialogue, I think, and then the music. I don't know what order it was assembled in. I've forgotten now. But it's interesting to see, and if maybe we'll open up some questions afterwards.